Are you looking to get started in real estate, but you're not sure about the right strategy for you? Because you may be somebody that doesn't have a lot of cash, doesn't have the perfect credit. Or you may say, Andrew, I actually have a little cash, but I just don't have time. So we're gonna go through 4 different strategies. We're gonna end up with 5 properties in the next 2 years. So let's get started. First strategy we call the house hacking strategy. You know who this is for? This is for anybody that wants to get started and says, I don't really have a lot of money and maybe I don't have the perfect credit. So we're gonna use a loan to be able to buy the property with about 3.5% down. Low down payment, and you don't have to have the perfect credit, or we're going to use a 203K. Again, remember, 203K, so they not only give you the money to buy the property with just a small down payment, now you get to live in the house. It's like exactly like the property behind me. You get to live in the house, and your tenant that lives next door or above you or below you is going to pay part of your payment. Guys, the best part about the strategy is somebody else is helping you pay off your property. That's why we call it the house hacking strategy, one of the great strategies to get started with. So here's John from Mastery that bought his first property for $160,000 and did about $30,000 in work. The best part was every single month the property costs him $2,200 to own. And you know, his tenant is paying $1,600 of that cost. So he's subsidizing his living cost, and now he has a 2-unit building. He repeated the process after about 8 months and moved into the second property. Then he went to a third one, fourth one, and fifth one. Today, after about 2.5 years, he owns 5 properties with over $5,200 in cash flow every single month. Guys, here's the best part. He started with very little amount of money, yet over a 2-year period, not only was he able to own 5 properties, but now he has cash flow every single month. The second strategy is 2 flips and 1 rental strategy. This is perfect for anybody that has a job, but maybe your job is really not going anywhere. And just because you put more time in, you're not really going to make any more money. So you want to use the real estate, flip some properties and generate income and build a portfolio of rental properties at the same time. So here's the rule we're going to use. It's called the 40 and the 6 rule. What does that mean? Well, 40,000 is what you want to make from every single property. So you're not doing big monster houses, but properties that we call bread and butter properties that are going to turn within the next 6 months. So you remember that rule, which is called the 40-6, which is 40,000 in profit and 6-month turns. Then you're going to take that profit and you're going to put it aside. So you're not spending the money, even though you have the money. We're going to use that to build a rental portfolio. And remember, we're going to go back to doing 2 more flips, then we're going to buy a rental property. See, the goal of that is we're using real estate to create income and we're building a portfolio at the same time. This is perfect for anybody that wants to not only increase their income, but end up with a high net worth and a cash flow at the end of 2 years. So here's Maritza and Jesus as a young couple. One of them is a social worker and the other one was a sound engineer. Both of them combined really didn't make that much money, but had the ambition of building a portfolio. So they ended up using what we call that 2 flips and 1 rental strategy, where they would do a couple flips, put a property aside. Couple flips, put a property aside. You know, here's the best part about it. Not only was Maritza able to quit her job after 2 years of getting started with real estate investing, but today, after 4 years, they've ended up with 20 plus properties, and now they don't have to necessarily do 2 flips for every 1 rental they accumulate, yet they can keep buying 4, 5, 6 rentals, and now they do 1 flip for every 5 or 6 rentals. So they're creating income while building a portfolio at the same time. This is your super scale strategy. See, this particular strategy allows you in a very short amount of time to get to almost 10, 15, 20 properties in a matter of a couple of years. Now you might say, Andrew, oh my God, that just sounds too good to be true. It's okay. See, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So you might be somebody that's just getting started. Well, it's perfectly fine. Start with the house hacking strategy or start with 2 flips, 1 rental strategy. That's the right place to start unless you have a little bit of experience and really want to go fast like Bassam and Andrea. See, in the last 3 years, they've grown from 0 properties to over 14 properties and over $9,000 every single month in cash flow by using private money and combining that with a commercial loan so you can grow at a really rapid pace. Strategy number 4 is a pay cash and then refinance out. So who's this for? Well, this is for a person who says, Andrew, I have some money, I have some cash, and I can use that to be able to buy the property. Now, a lot of times people think, well, I just pay cash for a property. I have 1 or 2 properties that are completely paid off. The problem is this, even if you have 2 properties paid off, really, how much cash flow are you going to have? Remember, what is our strategy? Our strategy is we want to grow to at least 5 rentals in the next 2 years. So here, you're going to use a hybrid strategy. You're going to pay cash for the particular property. You're going to rehab it for cash. Then you're going to go back to the bank and get all your cash out. Every single month, you want to make sure you have a minimum of $500 to $700 in cash flow, meaning in your pocket after all expenses. So this is a strategy for people that have some money already, but they don't want to pay a lot of interest upfront to maybe a hard money, to a private money. They want to use their own money strategically to be able to build a rental portfolio. So here's Rishabh from Mastery that uses strategy number 4, where he's paying cash for the properties to buy the property, and then he's putting a commercial loan behind it. Now, he has the capital and the cash available, so he uses his capital and saves on the interest, and then he takes out his capital. So today, using that strategy, he's grown to about 30 plus properties and a chunk of 20,000 plus in terms of cash flow. Not for everybody, but it works in Rishabh's case. So we talked about 4 different strategies. Depending on who you are, where you're starting, you're going to use the strategy depending on what makes the sense for you. But remember, what is our end goal? All of us want to end up with cash flow. We want a minimum of 5 properties in the next 2 years. This is Andrew. Talk to you soon.